perfect life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. I get you out of my head again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Ready to fight, ready to go, that's my final word. Taking chances, a gift that just can't walk. Calling a game, pushing my brain with the candlelight. I catch my breath and let it burn, 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 burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage. I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another the special Saturday edition of Japanese Wrestling Update. I am one of your co-hosts, Andre C., and the co-host that matters, it's right over here. It's the princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am fracking exhausted. I'm a little sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. I was on stream last night till about a little after 1:30, a little before 2, with the beautiful Auntie Collins. I'm tired. She overslept. She didn't go to the gym today, which is fine. It's the holidays. I'm supposed to get fat and happy. How are you doing, my
Fat,
friend? That's a
fat
nice
and happy.
towel there.
Thank you. The one behind you is pretty dope too.
What, that one?
Yeah,
Was
that one.
that Thecla one?
Yeah.
That hey. Oh, I don't know. This guy got it for me. It's a fun dude. You might know
Yeah.
him.
I might. I just might.
You might. It was fun.
No, it couldn't have been me. No, never.
Right. It wasn't you. And it so wasn't me who made that gingerbread house for RCW.
No way. No way. No.
No way. Not at all. Not even a little. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. I'm LIV. I am living. Yeah, I'm doing okay though. Keeping alive.
Living your best life.
Just went and saw Sonic 3 before this, so
Nice. How was it?
I really had a good time watching it. Jim Carrey stealing the movie as always.
As he does. It's hard. I found it odd that they put him in that movie as a villain, because I was like, people are going to care more about him than they are the Hedgehog.
Yeah, but you got to kind of when your main heroes are CGI, you need your human bad guy to be really compelling, and he very much is.
Oh, yes, he is. I love me some Jim Carrey. I remember back in his heyday, Ace Ventura, The Mask,
Cable
The
Guy,
Grinch.
I never saw his Grinch.
Oh, we're gonna have a movie night.
No.
It's a great movie.
I'll just watch
We're
the
not
original.
here to talk about Christmas movies and Jim Carrey, though, as much as that is a great thing, because Jim Carrey is just Amazing. One of the few
Yep.
Canadians that we like in the
Yes.
industry.
Yes, that is true. He is Canadian. The great
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yes.
But
Unlike Jericho.
we're going to talk some Japanese wrestling, so we're going to get into it. We didn't actually get a chance to do a NJPW Puroresu review this week. Well,
Mhm.
Strong Style Evolved. So we're going to talk about that show here on this show. We're going to go through it, and then we got a bunch of other news that is just keep popping up and popping up. And I thought this week was going to be, hey, we're going to Strong Style Evolved, and maybe one other thing. No,
Oh, nay,
no,
nay.
I got
Just
so
when
much
we
stuff.
thought we could break a little bit and just like woosah, they're just like nay, nay. We're giving you the biggest shows of our time right now.
And then this
I
weekend
love it.
is the road to Wrestle Kingdom is happening. Tomorrow we got the four-way of the other side of the junior tag champs all facing off, and then we
Mhm.
have the KOPW title. The final match for the KOPW titles on the line there. So man, there's so much going on still in wrestling. I thought I'd get a break, but I didn't. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Relatable.
So
Now that you've stalled enough time and I've gotten my notes up.
I don't even have my notes. That's the problem. I don't even think I took notes for this show. I just watched it and enjoyed it. I think
Well, now I'm sitting here going, why did I do that?
because you're more prepared than me. We all know this. We all.
Sure.
I know who won every match. I don't honestly remember every finish. So, but we are going to get into it.
We'll get through
We're going to talk. We'll talk about it. We kick it off. Strong Survivor match on the pre-show. It's Matt Vandergrift defending his Strong Survivor title against in a rematch against a very new-looking Zane J, who did come
Mhm.
out at the Lola show last month to challenge him. All new look, shaved his head. Did actually went to Japan for a little bit to work in the
Mhm.
Noge dojo. Is back here in the States now. So yeah,
Mhm.
I thought these two had a killer match. Zane J like really has stepped up. Like from the last time to this time, has really stepped up his game.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. I agree. I agree. Um, did you get the same vibe I was getting off of him though?
What was that?
I thought it was adorable. This isn't a bad thing. This is very much a good thing. He was giving me like fresh-faced Gabe Kid Oscar Loibe vibes. Like when they just came out of the Young Lions school, both in his look and his mannerisms. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The first time we saw Zane J when he had the cornrows and he was doing the bro frat boy thing, it was just like mm, it gave that vibe in his wrestling as well. You could tell how green he was. He was very much a tryhard in that match. This was a completely different Zane J. And that should speak volumes to the quality of training that they do in Japan. Like, not to say that LA isn't doing, really as good, but look at the difference in quality of Zane J, where before we had the LA Zane J, who was cornrows and frat boy, and now we have crisp, on top of things. His in-ring psychology, the way he was selling, his facial expressions, so good. I think it was shocking Vandergriff because Vandergriff was shocked throughout this entire match. Do you have any moves for me, dude, or do I have the notes on that?
Yeah, you got all that. I just know the finish. That's it. Who won? I honestly didn't take notes for that. I just enjoyed this show. I gotta see if I have
I
notes, but
watched
yeah.
it twice, so that's probably why I have details.
Okay.
Um, okay, so let's just pop through this, see what I do know and what I don't know. It helps so much to have, by the way, Veda. Who the fuck is Zeta? Veda Scott,
Oh, I do
Walker
have
Stewart on.
notes. I
Oh,
found notes. Oh, I didn't take
how
notes for the
did you
last four
forget
matches.
that you had notes?
I took matches. I took notes up until the LIJ versus. Oh wait, this is from the last show. Never mind. This is the wrong one.
Oh my.
Uh,
Glorious chaos today here on Japanese Wrestling Update. Okay. So again, as I was saying, Veda Scott, Walker Stewart on commentary, just amazing. The banter back and forth between them was great. Again, they filled in the blanks really, really nicely for anything I didn't know that was kind of going on, and in the history of these two individuals and their history together. It was really, really great. Helped me out a lot. Also, super nice to have somebody who knows the moves.
Mm.
JR. Anyway, so Vandegrift, again, he's kind of evolving into this heel character, and this match, no different. He was really kind of healing it up on Zayn and really mean. He had some nasty moves, nasty suplexes. He was beaking with the crowd, really kind of getting them to hate him, and I loved it. There was a butterfly lock backbreaker and cobra clutch that Vandergrift did. That was just he accentuated his meanness on these moves, really reefing on them. There was a headlock with knee strikes that he did, where he was just holding Zayn and just plowing his knees into his face. I like that. It's not something that you see a lot of, and I know that's an MMA thing. But like it's not something that you see incorporated or necessarily incorporated well into professional wrestling. It worked really well. Um, there was one point where Jay had Vandegrift in some kind of weird wheelbarrow thing, and Vandegrift just kind of flippity dipped into a standing position into DDT or something. But like,
Yeah.
but like, finish came after a Boston Crab by Zane J. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the end of this.
I did.
Um, so yeah, that's all I got then.
Yeah, I enjoy this because like again, it's for me means Matt Vandergrift might be moving on and heading to Japan proper. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm, yeah,
That's what I'm hoping for is to see Matt go to Japan because hopefully this drop in the strong fire means he gets to come over and do something more.
um, I mean, he could, but he does hold a lot of championships here that didn't hold Jay back from going over there. So Vandegrift does hold some titles in a couple different states.
Mhm.
So, yes, it would be insanely beneficial for him, but that would also mean that he would probably have to drop those titles. It would maybe not necessarily stop his momentum, but it would certainly slow the momentum that he has been starting to build in North America. But at the same time, a couple week tour probably would be really good. So, yeah.
Yeah. Again, he could do what a lot of the American guys do: go over for like 2 3 weeks at a time, work, come back. Like he really
Hmm.
could. Like that's where I'm looking at it. It's like, and I think it just hopefully means he's got something more. Because I'm sorry, he's very much got a not in a bad way a Chase Owens vibe, but the look he's rocking right now, it's very Chase. There's a Chase Owens vibe there for me
Yeah, but
personally.
if you follow Chase Owens on his socials also, he's kind of killing it in the South right now. He's doing
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of traveling, he's wrestling a lot, he's doing seminars, he's teaching. That's something that Matt Vandergrift could bank on as well, being a LA Dojo kind of graduate there and being the strong survivor for so long. He could use that as clout to kind of do something similar.
Oh, very much so. Very much. And I know
Mhm.
he holds a Southern title. I can't remember what it is, but I can't remember the name of it right off my top of my head. There's a title. Yeah. Move on main card. We have Mina Shirakawa versus Johnny Robbie. Johnny Robbie
Mhm.
making her return for the first time in about a year or so. We did see her on old strong shows, in like tag matches and stuff. And Mina Shirakawa here. I think it's just more. This was more like Johnny Robbie getting a lot of good offense in this match, but Mina just kind of more of a showcase for her here for what might come later on in the night.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I felt these two flowed really, really great together. It was nice to see Robbie. I've never seen Robbie before. This was my first time kind of seeing her. I like the charismatic attitude. I love the kind of bubbly energy. It really matched well with Nina. I felt that they worked really, really well together. There were a couple points where you could tell there was a little bit of an experience difference where like maybe Robbie wasn't where she was supposed to, and Mina's kind of scrambling to grab her or waiting a little bit. But overall, I felt that they filled that space and time very, very well together. Um, Mm, what do I want to say? There was a rewind kick by Robbie that she did. It was a little slower than Bushi's, but still very, very good and did the job it needed to. Smacked Shirakawa pretty good. Um, Figure four by Shirakawa, always good. It is her kind of stable kind of submission, locking it in, making Robbie have to crawl for the ropes. The back fist, spinning back fist by Mina Shirakawa is always good. I love that she has a move as simple as that, and really, realistically, it is a simple move. But I feel like maybe people don't do it because they know of the danger of it. It's much like the coup de grace, where it's
Mm,
like it is a very simple looking move. For me, that's why I personally don't like it. But I also equally know that's an entire human being coming down on your chest cavity. If they do it improperly, they could instantly kill you. So, like, I feel the same way with the back fist. It's a very simple but efficient move, but not a lot of people do it because they know there's that the window for doing it wrong is a lot bigger than the window for doing it right. If you
mhm.
aim improperly, you could break someone's jaw, you can knock somebody out. That's going to derail the entire match. So I do like that spinning back fist and how well Shirakawa does it. There's a little bit of struggle into the finish, though. I don't know if maybe they just didn't know what was going on or if it was winding down. Maybe they were just having so much fun. They wanted to keep going. I don't know.
Mm,
Um,
possible.
but it did look like Robbie tried to put herself in position early for Mina's move instead of letting Mina put her in the position for the move.
Yeah.
But again, that's just a beginner's thing. I know she does have experience, and I know that she was out with injury for a little bit. This is her kind of get back into the swing of it kind of match, and I felt there was no one better to do it against than Mina because Mina was very patient with her. You could see there were moments where she was like, "What's happening right now?"
Yeah.
But she was always professional. She at no point broke her character like we've seen some do, get frustrated outwardly with people like we've seen, here. We saw Joey Janela get very frustrated with who he was wrestling and start, taking things out on her. So, I like the professionalism of this match.
Yeah. Big shout out to Astra Pizarro in the chat. Hello, madame.
We
Welcome.
love the
Welcome.
natural.
The natural. One of our
Mhm.
favorites in this world. The queen. The queen of OLE.
Yes.
So we move on
Alrighty.
to a pretty goddamn good tag team match. Is for the strong openweight tag team championships. Champions James Drake and Zap Gibson, the Grizzled Young Veterans, taking on the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaacs and Jarrell Nelson. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit, was this a good match? Like, exceeded every expectation I had. And I expect
Mhm.
this to be good because these are two pretty goddamn strong teams. But
Mhm.
man, when you thought it was over, it just kept going, but in the best possible way.
Yeah. Yeah. What was interesting to me in this match? Yes, I was just gonna say, okay, we'll get into that real quick and get the nasty out of the way. Cause and I'm gonna say it as nicely and not gross as possible. Royce Isaacs robbed a bakery before this match. That's all I'm gonna say on it. If you know what that means, you know what that means.
Like with a
Ladies,
gun for money.
sure. Yeah, and the gun was his mouth, and it all went to one particular area of his body, which he needs to share with the rest of the world how he did that. Just watch the match.
Okay,
Um,
1840 clip. Okay. 18 minutes 40 seconds around there. Clip Mel talking about Royce Isaacs' cake. Okay.
he had all the cake. All the cake in the city was right there. But getting to the more interesting stuff of this match, all four of these guys have very different characters that were all fully on display in this match. Because like you got West Coast Wrecking Crew, and I used to think that they were kind of the opposites when I first got to know this crew. I felt like Nelson was more the like kind of unhinged one, and Isaacs was more. Gotta figure out my pointing with this new setup. Isaacs was more the kind of like calm, strong guy. They've kind of reversed the roles, haven't they? Nelson has become more the kind of calm, controlled one, and in this match, Isaacs was absolutely unhinged. He was not on the ground long. If he took a suplex from someone, he was popped right back up and in their face. If he took a power bomb, he was popped right back up and in their face. He was an absolute beast in this match. But then you have the grizzled young vets, and they too have their own little characters because first of all, I also appreciate how they have their names on their gear. I mentioned this on a ramble yesterday because we also watched them there. I There's so many combinations of the bearded and bald guys. Look, there's two of them in this freaking match, you know? So I sometimes if I'm
Uh,
getting to know a new tag team, it really does help me to have their names on them in some way, shape, or form. Having Gibson and Drake written on their trunks, super, super helpful for me. I always kept saying Gibson, Gibson,
Gibson,
Gibson,
Gibson,
Gibson.
Gibson.
He's kind of like the little like Chihuahua one on the group where he's just like he's like Tama. He's the Tama of the group. And then you got Drake, who's still unhinged in his own right, but it's like almost like a combination of Jarrell and Isaacs, where he's crazy but also reserved. It's a very interesting combination. But this match was the perfect way to show how two tag teams work together. They were moving so fast and creating sequences and doing things so quickly, I barely had time to write anything down. We will say, though, it was supremely impressive that Royce Isaacs was it Gibson? I think it was Gibson. Yeah, it was Gibson. Puts Gibson in the suplex and starts squatting with him
Yeah,
in the
in like
suplex position.
because he's got the he's got the cradle for it looks like Bolton shake as he's holding him, and he just starts squatting with him.
Yeah,
It's just impressive as shit, man. This dude is just got
and
power like you
Gibson's
wouldn't
beating
believe.
on his thigh too, and he's just sitting there like it was like he was just it wasn't even a thing.
Yep.
It did not feel. It was like a fly crawling across his thigh. It was ridiculous. Um, there was a machine gun chops done by Nelson, that in the corner that I was very happy with, because they were good chops, solid. Each and every single one just hit as hard as the last. Sometimes people can peter off a little bit as they get tired throughout them. I
Mhm.
appreciated that he did not. Um, there was also a Koji clutch by Drake, but Isaac stands up with him on him
Oh,
to
dude.
throw him into Gibson and Nelson to ensure there was no submissions.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal. Just the brilliance of the in-ring work of these guys. This match was perfect tag team showmanship.
Hmm.
I love this. You wanna talk about the ending?
I go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I just said the ending was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Again, in the end, we have new strong tag team champions, and I'm so happy. Like I was very unsure. Like I put out my picks before the show, and I picked my boys
Mhm,
West Coast Wrecking Crew to win,
mhm.
but I wasn't sure because GYV just won the titles a month prior, so
Yeah,
there was doubt in my head. I'm like, my boys can do this, but like it's like they're at
this was their
home.
first defense too, wasn't it?
It was no, they defended twice on ROH TV.
Oh,
Yeah. They talked about it on commentary that they had a couple defenses on ROH TV over the month. So
I
yeah.
you have to realize though, for this match, I was not paying attention to the commentary.
Oh, I know. You were
This
paying attention to Isaac's cake. We know that.
Look at this picture. Look at the size of this man versus his partner, who we know is just as big.
Hmm.
Look at the size differential. Holy
And
fucking crap.
it doesn't help that they have a tiny like this female rep. She's
And there's
tiny
this
too.
tiny
On
little
top
girl
of it
rep.
all,
Oh, this
so
was
it doesn't
great
help at
though.
all.
This was
Yeah.
so great,
Oh,
especially because we just saw that vicious freaking match between these two and Fred Rosser and and Tom Lawler. I don't
Yeah.
remember what their
Dirty
tag
work.
team is called.
Dirty work. All the dirtiest work you could ever think of.
It's such a strange name. Anyway, yeah, I had fun with this, but let's
And
talk
then-
about this.
Pros match, Mr. Rocky Romero, Azuka. I can never say it right.
Azuka.
Azuka, Rocky Romero makes his way out, and he congratulates West Coast Wrecking Crew for winning the tag team titles. But he says, "I've got a challenge for you at Battle in the Valley." But if the match card it hasn't been released yet, he challenges the champions with his tag team partner in Roppongi Revice, Mr. Yo. Is going to come over to the United States. We're going to get Rocky and Yo versus West Coast Wrecking Crew. I think I'm a little bit excited about this, to see Yo in the United States just going wild over here.
It's not like he hasn't been over here, though, right? He was over here for his excursion with Show when they were the Tempura Boys.
Mhm.
I think that's what they were called was it Impact or ROH? I can never remember at this point. I think it was Impact.
No, ROH.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah,
Maybe Impact too. I don't know. Maybe.
Wherever Okada was. Yeah. My concern going into this match, look at these two beasts of men in the West Coast Wrecking Crew, and then just listen to what their fracking name is. West Coast, that we can discard that. Wrecking Crew. My dude. In case you didn't know, if you're looking at this picture, that is Rocky Romero laying on the ground because Royce Isaacs introduced him to himself. And he got his shit rocked. Now look at these two men. These are two clearly heavyweight men. Well, Rocky,
he's a junior.
He's very much a junior, and Yo is more of a junior than he is.
But it is for the open weight titles.
I don't care. I get it. You can verbiage it any way you want. The fact of the matter is you have two big meaty men who like to slap meat and two little dudes who are the meat. They're going to get smacked around. But that being said, Yo is a phenomenal wrestler. And I'm sure once he stops popping his pecs for everybody, he'll be able to come down off the counter and have a tremendous match with Jarrell and Isaacs. And I think that the combination, Rocky worked with Show and Yo back in the day because he knew how good they were. He continues to work with Yo because he knows how good he is. This is going to be a great match. It's just going to be unfortunate to see the little guys get their shit wrecked.
It's true. And then we had a 4-way match previewing the junior tag title match at Wrestle Kingdom. By God, Mel made the right choice here, as usual, with TJP sneaking out a win because Kosei Fujita had the submission on at the end. But TJP with the sneaky little pins on, with it on Kushida, because he had the submission on Connors, and he got the sneaky little pin, stealing this match. He
didn't steal
this match from Kosei Fujita. He stole this from Fujita.
No. I disagree. What happened here?
If you watch as the rest counting 3, Connors is tapping, so that. Fujita's the winner. Before the ref counted 3, he was tapping. So Fujita, to me, is the winner of this match.
Maybe if Fujita had reefed in the move a little bit more, he could have submitted Connors before TJP took the time to set up his pin. Just saying. What happened here, Andre? Do I think he was robbed? No. Because he just got outsmarted.
No, he was robbed.
He just got outsmarted by someone who's been in this business a lot longer, has seen a lot more shit, has done a lot more shit, has wrestled a lot more people, including Kosei Fujita's mentors, all of them. He has that, he is like a Rolodex of just professional wrestling knowledge. I was very on the fence And I'm still not fully over it. I'm hanging on to it a little bit on if TJP would have been the appropriate leader for United Empire. After this match solidified to me that yes, he 100% deserves to be the leader of United Empire, and this is fracking why. He
Dude,
just
how
simply
cheeky he was in this match. Oh,
he was so sneaky, but he was so smart because look who he's wrestling. You
yeah.
have that incredible technique and just unique ability with Kushida. You have that feral unhingedness in Clark Connors, but then you have this really smart technician who I feel like Koji Fujita has come into this business very smartly. He doesn't have an ego despite who he is wrestling and training with. He's come in very humble, very smart. He knows he's good, but he knows that there are people who are better that he can learn from. So seeing all four of these personalities just clash. And what was so great about this match is that they disposed of a couple people throughout the match so that the one-on-one stuff that was happening in the ring made sense. And if they were too up and about, the other people would take the other people out. But they wouldn't make it such a sensational fight on the outside that it took attention away from what was happening on the inside. This was the most absolutely perfect match that you could watch to get a
Mhm.
feel for what a fatal four-way match should be.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Just the
Though I know you're
transitioning
mad about
between everything.
Fujita,
I loved watching when Kosei Fujita went for the hoverboard lock on Kushida. It almost
right?
made my goddamn day just to see him like try to pull the dude's submission. It was just, and Connors, man, you gotta give it. That dude was a freaking beast in this match. He ruins another part of the show for me and brings a match very much down for me later in the show, but honestly, he killed it here. This match was incredible, man. And that finish,
Mm.
while I'm not happy with it, was a very good and really cool way to finish the match.
Yeah, because just the way that TJP kind of rolled in there, he
Hmm.
blocked Fujita's feet. So even if Fujita could have let go with his hands, but there wouldn't be a point to him breaking that hold because he knew he wouldn't be able to get his hands down in time after releasing his hands to get to TJP to break that pin.
Hmm.
It was a brilliant ending. And TJP knew it. You saw the look on his face right after that
Oh my
pin, just
god,
staring into Fujita. He's like, I got you. I
oh heck
freaking
yeah,
got you. It's brilliant. It's absolutely freaking brilliant. I
yeah,
loved this match. This was actually, I would say, one of the more matches of my night on
yeah.
this show.
But if it wasn't for the main event, this would have been my goddamn match of the night. Because holy shit, Leo Rush, one of the
Right?
best juniors in the world, taking
Oh,
on one of the greatest technical luchadors to ever exist in Hechicero. When Hechicero hit that step up knee in the corner, like straight to Leo's jaw, I literally went, oh, because like I thought he took his head off with that knee.
and Leo
Oh,
does tend to be like I don't want to say reckless, but like he is all about the showmanship as much as he is about the wrestling. So like we have seen Leo Rush get pretty badly hurt for the sake of the sport. Remember when he took that move on the ramp in New Japan and he busted his
oh,
face
broke his
open?
face. Just broke his face
Yeah.
open. Yeah.
Or the time he had a close encounter with Gabe Kidd's fist and he
And
broke
broke his
open his
face
face
open.
again.
Keeps breaking his
Notice a
face.
trend here. Stop doing that. Do you have any more things to say on
No,
this
it's
one, dude?
just the technical, and like Leo Rush really controlled a good chunk of this match. Like Hechicero was on the
Mhm,
back foot a bunch in this match. And I
mhm.
just love like the Lopez. Dude, they look like like he's turning them into Bushi rockets here, man. Because he just flies when he's hitting these things, man. Like absolutely incredible.
Mhm.
Hechicero, just the technical mastery and how he flows around a person is just impressive as all hell. It's just, oh my god, beautiful.
Yeah. The size differential in this one was interesting because we know how quick Leo Rush is. And like he does that thing that freaks me out. Remember the
Oh,
thing that Sean Moore
the
does?
stop and run thing, yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
little kind of like werewolf run
oh,
thing.
werewolf run, yeah.
Wh- Yeah, he uses that a lot because it's smart for him with his size. Like I can't say that if I was in his situation that I wouldn't do the same thing. It would help me turn and stop a lot quicker than just standing on 2 feet and stopping and turning. That
Hmm.
being said, Hechicero, he had a hard time catching Leo Rush, but when he did, holy shit, he would really have a lot of fun with him. The crowd, though, in this one, they were alive beforehand, but holy shit, did Leo Rush and Hechicero really work the crowd in the beginning of this, getting in the turnbuckles, getting them riled up. We really saw how much the crowd does not like Leo Rush in this area.
Mm.
They were not on his side at all, and it fueled him. It fueled him a lot.
Well, I feel like he came out expecting to have the crowd with him, and there were some cheers for him when he came out. But when Hechicero came out, the crowd was just like, "Nope, we're with Hechicero."
Yeah, 110%. And they played into that a lot. And I liked it. I like seeing that in-ring work where they really bring the crowd into it. It's almost like they know that bringing the crowd into the work at professional wrestling is kind of a way to go.
Hmm.
Funny how that works. Um, but yeah, there was one point where Hechicero tied Leo Rush up in the ropes on the outside there and just started wailing on him. It looked bad. Ooh, it looked rough. He also kind of locked in this like kind of sharpshooter looking thing, but he was facing the other way, and then he also did like a ankle kind of lock at the same time. Again, I don't know half of these technical move names. And at this point, commentary was like, what in the world is that? That he can like create just the most random things in the middle of a match to entertain you is just speaks volumes to the in-ring work of Hechicero. Um oh yeah, there was one point where Hechicero was doing the 10 hits in the corner. Did you hear that? The crowd, half of them were counting in English, half of them were counting in Spanish.
Yep,
I love that. I
but
just love that.
I gotta. I thought that
Yeah,
finish, the finish was really cool. That's like head scissor driver that he does. Like he caught him with the head scissor and like spun Leo on his head with the head scissors. Is what
I was
is
going into that. Yeah.
so cool, right?
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks. No, go ahead.
No, it just I thought that was like dope. Just I was like, who does a head scissor driver?
Him.
I, I just thought it was really cool to see. I've never really seen a move like that before. It was like that's really inventive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can move on. We got a lot more matches.
We move on tag match. It is Templario, the newest member of the N Empire, teaming up with Jacob Austin Young, taking on Hiromu Takahashi and Teton. And Teton and Templario with a lot of history together down in CMLL and working against each other multiple times. I guess we've worked with each other in the past. From what commentary had said, they were former tag team partners. I really
Mm.
enjoyed this match. I really getting to see Templario on a bigger stage, other than the Fantascomania tours. I'm hoping we get to see him more than just Fantascomania tours now that he's part of the Empire.
That's not going to be the case, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be just like how we've gotten with Teton for the last little bit. We're going to get them once in a while, but it's going to be
Mm.
like for the bigger tours, the bigger shows. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's taken me years to get on the Templario train. I was not a fan of his when he first started. He was just, to me, another tatted up chonky lucha who just kind of gets threw around, and he didn't do anything special for me. I didn't understand why he was so over.
Mm.
Now he's gotten a lot better, a lot more tailored. He seems to take himself and what he's doing a lot more seriously. So he looked in great shape, worked very, very well with Mr. Young. Um, I have a lot of notes, but like I don't want to talk too much here. So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
uh, TJP coming out with his boys, that I appreciate. That's not something we see a lot from leaders. We've seen it a little bit with David Finley, but we haven't seen it in a while with other members and captains. Well, and Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. is pretty proud of his boys as well. But it's nice to see TJP coming out because we didn't get that from Will Ospreay as much when he was the captain. So I appreciated that, especially coming out with the little flag, really hyping up his guys. But at no point in time did he try to take attention away from them. He was trying to stand behind them at all times. So I really appreciate how, in that moment, not only was he supporting his guys, but he was also making it a point to be like, you're here to watch them right now. I'm just on the outside. Um, um and there's the run around the ring crossbody that Hiromu did, which was hilarious. Just crossbody, 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 crossbody to everybody. It was freaking funny.
He did two to
Um,
both of his opponents. I think he did two to each. And Jacob Austin Young looked so like sad that he had to take this move. He was like, "Oh, not again!" Just getting
well, yeah, I mean, it's on the outside. It's not even on the inside, which like isn't much better, but still. Um, I wrote down Teton doing something similar to Koze, but he turns around and holds the wrist. So that kind of like figure four backbend that Fujita did on
Mhm.
Connors earlier. Teton did that, but instead of like facing the back like Koze was, the legs were locked backwards. So they were back to back, and then he grabbed the wrists and started pulling the arms back as well. It was like they were mirrored images of each other. I wasn't
Yeah,
quite sure who was being hurt in that moment
it,
or who it looked cool, but I'm like sitting there going, I feel like that's both of you guys getting hurt at this point. I don't see the point of it.
it looked like a modified gory special almost, but like with the legs locked instead of hooked into the hips. Because usually they're hooked into the hips, and then you got them over the. Usually they're pulling the arms or pulling the head for like the Widow's Peak style.
Yeah.
It
Well,
looked
like I
like
said, they looked like mirror images of each other. Like you could have put a mirror in there, and the only difference was the costumes.
yeah.
They looked exactly the same. I marked out when Jay said, "Let's get dangerous." I know that's his thing, but it's still
So good, Darkwing Duck.
right. That's exactly what I did. I was like, "Oh my God!" And then for the rest of the match, I was like, "When there's trouble, you apparently call Jay." Wait,
Call JW. Darkwing Duck.
well, there's no W in his name. It's Jacob Austin Young. There isn't even a W in there.
I'm trying. I just trying to make it rhyme.
Well, that's why I said you apparently call Jay. Oh, Bobby Stats.
Hi,
Hi,
Bobby.
Bobby. Hi to Diane.
Hi, Dan.
Um, the tornado DDT by Teton was great. There's one point where Teton did a moonsault. He just narrowly missed the barricade, and I audibly screamed. Because I was like, we are not having another Eddie Kingston moment. I can't handle that.
And I
He
think
made
we've seen Teton do that too, where he actually clipped the barricade one time, but he was
Yeah, we
okay.
did.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he
scared me
caught
so
his foot on it. Yeah, the ankle. But he certainly rubbed his entire hamstring from the top of his knee to the bottom of his booty all the way down that barricade. Like he got a hamstring massage
hmm
by the top of the barricade. I have
Yeah.
never like held my breath so much. I mean, good for you for actually hitting it and not hurting yourself, but frack, man, I need to be alive for the rest of these matches. My heart nearly stopped. Um, there was I called it the infinity clothesline, where Teton does that clothesline all the way through, where Hiromu slingshotted him into it. The speed that Teton has too, he does the thing and suddenly he's right back in the ring. It's like he never ever left. Um, last thing, the spin a Rooney into the backbreaker by Templario, because let's be honest, that's what it was. It wasn't a Bushirooney. What a Templaroonie? Is that
Just
what we
yeah,
call it?
a Templaroonie. Yeah, sure. Templar,
Templaroonie.
a Templarioni, a Templarioni,
That does what?
a Templarioni.
No, no, that sounds weird.
I like
No.
that.
Yeah, Into the Backbreaker by Templar was crazy. And so crazy that he picks up the win over Teton, a former finalist in Super Juniors. Crazy.
Yeah,
Freaking crazy.
I love this. Is again great finish. That
Hmm.
lungboard powerbomb was sick. Like just looked like, and he looked like he murdered Teton with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
that was nuts.
Mental.
Mental. All right, we move on. It was for the this. I'm sorry. This match was my biggest disappointment on the show.
Really?
Yeah, because neither of these guys did anywhere close to what I thought they could do. I've seen both these men have way better matches, and I don't know if it's just they didn't seem to gel to me or
Hmm.
what. It was good. It was good. That's all it was to me. It was good. This
Hmm.
should have been great or excellent. This was good to me. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, but like when I look back at the show, I'm like, so many other matches pop out to me before this one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like Kid was going easy on Awiwa.
Yeah. Didn't look like he was going hard. It didn't look like he was beating the shit out of him like he normally does.
Wow. Maybe that should tell us something about what they think about how it is that Awiwa is actually capable of performing, though. Because if you have your champion who is known for being unhinged, for being feral, for being that crazy guy, and he's going easy on you, mm,
Again,
probably not a good thing.
I was thinking like, but again, look at their tag match in the World Tag League. They were beating the living snot out of each other, and I'm like, this is going to be amazing at Strong Style Evolved. And then when it got
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, that was good.
Well, then maybe, I mean, I don't know. We don't know who planned this or booked it. You know, Rocky's the one there.
Hmm.
I assume planning all of it. So, Rocky, what do we not believe in Awiwa that we weren't allowing Kid to go Eddie Kingston level on him, and we were given this. I personally still enjoyed it. There was
Yeah.
a lot more character work in this one than I expected, and
Mhm.
maybe that's what's because like sometimes the character work, depending on what they're doing, can be great, and sometimes it can be boring. Owiwa's was kind of missing a point, a part, like a missing the thing for me. Owiwa I couldn't get into on this one, but the way Kid was beaking at the crowd, getting mad at everyone, singling people out and being like, yo, mom, rubbing his Johnson at everybody, flipping everybody off. He was working hard to get this crowd hating him because he's so over in North America right now. People are cheering for him. He's a heel, but people love him because he does his job right. Look at the shit that he did in preparation for this show. He was on television, local television, talking about it, and like very professional. He was still himself, but like minding his language. He didn't go on the news and stop dropping F-bombs like he does in New Japan. So like there was a lot of work that he went into this match with, but yes, there was a distinct, it wasn't 100%, it was a strong 70 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, that being said, that takes care of a couple of my notes. The chain wrestling though at the beginning of this match was really fun. You see how Kid was really trying to like poke the bear in those moments where
Yeah.
Awiwa would like move his hand and Gabe Kid immediately had his hand back there and he'd move his hand again, immediately back there, move his hand again, immediately back there. You could see Awiwa getting frickin' pissed. And finally, at one point, he just hits his hand, and Kid, you can see him smirk. I'm
So
like,
good.
you are purposely fucking with him, and I love it. And I love you for it. It was great. Um, there was a Doctor Bomb by Oiwa. Really, really good. I mean,
Mhm.
better. You just came from Noah. Did you know it?
And the funny fact
Um,
is this is also the same finisher that Game Kid uses in his Madman Bomb. It's the same. It's a similar fit move.
yeah, it's very, very similar. Yeah.
The Oiwa
Um,
pull it off.
the last, well, the two more things I want to mention. The one thing is, again, back to the playing with the crowd. I loved when Gabe Kidd was acting like a chicken. You see this grown ass violent man just sitting there with his freaking arms
I must
moving.
have missed that part because I do not remember that.
Oh my God, he starts doing that, and I'm like, what is wrong with the chickens in England that they look like that? My
Uh,
God. It was really funny though. Again, it comes back to that crowd interaction. The crowd loves it when these wrestlers interact with them. They make them feel a part of the show. And the more the fans feel a part of the show, the more noise they are going to make. We're not just going to cheer you because you're you. You know, and we see that here locally. There's some local guys who think they're so great that just them coming out of the curtain deserves a cheer.
hmm,
Gabe Kid, Owiwa, they earn it. They earn it by freaking getting in our faces and calling us fuckers and calling us chickens and freaking remember Will Ospreay when he was the heel for the OG United Empire and he was calling everyone sex pigs. Like
yeah,
we like that shit.
yeah. There was a point to this match that I didn't like. I really
Yeah.
disliked, and that was Clark Connor's involvement in coming out
I thought
using
it
the
was
chair.
Thekla.
Yeah, you said you mentioned that to me when we were talking like the day after about it.
It was
It's
the hair clip.
I understand the War Dogs ride together. They have this whole thing where they are essentially like very united.
Their
But
Legion.
I just Gabe Kidd, if you watch everything he's done, unlike the rest of Bullet Club, he hasn't had a lot of people getting involved in the things he's done.
He hasn't needed it, no.
And that's where I think also took me out of this match when Connors is getting involved here. It takes it away from me because Kid is so of his own in how he does some of those things.
Mhm. That's fair.
And I love that Fujita makes the save for his boy, comes out,
Mhm.
showing that friendship that those two have from training together and just having that. And but it just that really took me out. I was like, oh, okay. Because it felt very
That's fair.
weird for a Gabe Kid match, especially. I know he's a warlock, but
Mhm.
very much of his own. I'm going to beat the shit out of somebody. I don't need somebody to come
Mhm.
help me beat the shit out of somebody. So Connor's getting
Mhm.
involved really threw me for this match. I think that's part of the reason why it takes it away from me for some. I don't know.
That's understandable. It's
Yeah.
completely understandable. And you're absolutely right. Game Kid hasn't needed the help. In fact, it's kind of been shown and thrown at him that he can't get it.
Mhm.
Like, look, I hate to say it, but like, look at his partners. It's unfortunate, but Alex Coughlin, injured, had to retire. Then you had Jake Lee, injured, out on injury. Then you had Sonata. Glorious, glorious letdown on that one.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
kind of
walking away from him too. That was the best part.
right. Like it's just it's obvious that Gabe Kidd needs to be a solo person because being a partner with him seems to be a little bit of a threat against your life. But um and I agree. It is odd to see somebody come out when he's been doing it kind of on his own solidly, unlike his leader David Finlay. who has needed the involvement of others, including Gabe Kidd. So yeah, I totally understand your point on that. I also feel that at that point though that they're also trying to build for that animosity for that four-way at Wrestle Kingdom with the junior teams.
Yeah.
And if it was anybody other than Connors and Fujita, I think I would have been madder about it. I don't feel that the interjection was necessary or needed. I feel like they might have done it because it wouldn't make any more sense on any other match in the show that they had built. And I feel like they didn't want it to just be another title match. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. Again, you don't
Mhm,
want it to just be another title match again, especially where they. But for me personally, seeing that happen
mhm.
really put me into feeling, oh, it's just another title match, get some random interference. That's what it made me.
Yeah.
But again, I'm weird. I feel things in
You're
different ways.
not weird. It's not weird. You just have a different perspective on it. That's why wrestling is amazing. Wrestling is subjective. There's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah, we all have our
Yeah.
how we feel about finishes of certain things.
Yeah.
We move on to the finish. I think me and Mel both enjoyed, especially the finish. Oh,
Yeah.
that's Gabe Kidd with the title there.
Hey.
Six-man tag, TMTK, Zack Sabre Jr., Shane Haste, and Big Teats, Bad Dude
Big
Tito,
Kurtz.
taking on Shota Umino and Dirty Works, Fred Rosser, and Santa Tom.
Santa Tom.
He had like the red, he had like the kind of Santa look on him
Tommy
tonight. And
Claus.
Tommy Claus working with, he has the suspenders on all night and everything.
I'm not gonna lie though, and it's not just because he wasn't wearing the Daisy Dukes. I actually really liked it. I thought it was hilarious, especially considering the spot that we got with it later.
Hmm. Yeah. Again, it's just fun to see. And again,
Yeah.
I'll admit I was slightly checked out when this tag match started. I kind of slightly checked out a little bit on this show. Um, and nothing is. I love TMDK. It's just what I was watching. I was kind of watching it, but doing. I can't remember. I was doing something else at the same
Oh,
time.
was this when you were making dinner?
No, this was far after dinner. I ended up doing. But I ended up having to take care of something while I was working on this. So while I
Um,
was watching this, so I think that's what threw me off. It was a good match from everything I was watching.
mm,
Just just it's also, this is probably one of the matches I look at on the show as one of the ones I'm like, oh, it's there to fill the card out, but I'm not. There wasn't
mm.
one like, gotta watch this because again, it's just previewing what we're getting ready for at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
But Big
Yeah, I
Teats
only have
looked
2
amazing
notes.
in everything I saw in this match, and that finish was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. And, like, let's talk real quick. We've been saying this almost every North American show, and that point, that exact point right there. Big Bad Dude Tito is great. You're fucking right, he's great. The
Mhm.
crowd freaking knows he's great too. Listen to that crowd. They love Zack Sabre Jr. They love Shane Haste, but they love Big Teats. They were calling for Teats. They were chanting for Teats when he wasn't in the match. When he was in the match, they were on fire, just screaming the whole time. Like, he's so over in North America. It's so crazy that they took the MLW title off of him. That seems like a very poor choice and bad decision.
I
Maybe
agree
Billy
with that
Watson would
fully.
disagree with that.
I agree with that fully.
You would. You would. Okay, so the only 2 notes that I have about this, um, the match itself was Tom Lawler wearing the pug sweater at the beginning. He was wearing one of those Christmas sweaters that had a pug on the front of it. I don't know if it was his pug or a pug, but what? It was cute. But the suspender spot that I was mentioning was my second note, which came from Shane Haste, where Shane Haste was like grabs the suspenders and just snaps them back on Lawler's neck, and it was like that kinda unleashed serious Tom Lawler. So maybe I'm wrong about this. I haven't been paying attention too much to stuff outside of New Japan, but like, is Tom Lawler still like the Tom Lawler character that we originally knew with the Daisy Dukes and stuff? or is he evolving into something different? Because this character seemed very unfamiliar to me.
It it was. I feel like it was the same character, but it's the good guy version, right? That's what we're getting now is the kind of the good guy.
Yeah. Can I be really 100? I
Yeah,
don't like it.
I mean, I still a fan.
I love his work. His in-ring stuff is great, but the brash, the unapologetic, even though he wore the Daisy Dukes with the fringe and I hated it, it was one of those things that I love to hate. I miss seeing that Tom Lawler character. I'm not a fan of this character because he seemed unnecessarily subdued, almost happy to take a back seat to everything else that was kind of happening in the match, which is fine. When you're in a six-man tag match, I mean, you can only do so much, right? And he did have his moment to shine, much like everybody else did in this match. It's just I know how good Tom Lawler is. And to feel like he might be selling himself short on this show was a little sad, but I still had a great time with it. And I
Mhm.
liked his comedic spots in it. I love that he was predominantly the person doing the comedic spots because I don't feel that they translate well with Rosser. I feel like he's too serious of a wrestler. And I feel that Shota doesn't have the experience yet to be able to accurately kind of do some comedy stuff. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this match. Big Teats is awesome. It just yeets everybody around. The power he has is just insane. Have you seen some of his like throwbacks on his socials recently? Where he's been showing like some of his first days in professional
No,
wrestling
I
versus
have
now.
not. I gotta go watch that. I
Oh,
gotta go see those.
oh my God. One of the pictures, I was like, that I thought he was son of Irish. It was crazy.
Yeah, because like, and I look at this match, like it was very much Saber and Umino throughout this match were really battling with each other because again,
Yes.
they're setting up their Wrestle Kingdom match. They're trying to really build interest
Hmm.
for it. Bobby, MLW made a bad decision.
From what I hear, they tend to do that.
Mhm. They do,
Mhm.
but like, and then you had so much stuff between Haste and Lawler, so great comedy in there, and then there's some
Mhm.
great work between Teats and Lawler. I don't remember Fred Rosser in this match at all. Like I can't even picture a spot in my head. I can picture
Yeah.
spots in my head, but I don't remember him being in this match at all. Do you? Like
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times where he got in there, but I felt like the bigger story in this was Law or not Lawler was Saber Jr.
oh, 100%.
and Shota. So like the other members sort of did take a back seat, except
Mhm.
for Teets, because the crowd refused to ignore Teets. But yeah, they unfortunately in this match, and it's sad to say because Rosser and Lawler, we know they can go. We saw that last match with West Coast Wrecking Crew. Holy shit. We know they can go. But they definitely took a back seat to the driver of Shota Umino, and it was a very unsafe trip.
Yep. And then the face off after the match, just you getting Saber trying to go Umino into hitting him after the match, just to try to get something out of him. But Umino's like, I am the good guy. I will be the good guy. I will not hit you. I am the good guy. It's like, dude, just cross
He
the line.
wasn't even doing that. I mean, not doing anything doesn't make you good. It kind of makes you look weak.
Yeah. But that's the thing. In the mentality of it is like I'm being this bigger man. It's like, no, you're just looking like a douche.
Yeah, it looks because also like Zack Sabre Jr. has been in this business for so much longer, so much experience. But the Umino is just coming into it more. Like he's grown up in professional wrestling. There's no doubt about that with his father, Red Shoes. But like he's fresh into his career. He's fresh off excursion. He's doing his best to find himself, and he still hasn't really started figuring that out. Maybe it's in the same place that Teddy Hart hid his religion and career. I don't know. Anyway, Shota hasn't come into his thing yet. He's not. We don't know who he is. He's still that combo breaker of Tanahashi, Naito, and John Moxley, even though he has moved away from Moxley. He's still doing the Death Rider. If you're upset with this guy and the things that he's doing and you don't agree with him anymore, change your moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, this exchange afterwards, I was kind of like underwhelmed with, I'm not gonna lie. And I kind of was like sitting there like, come on, there's 2 more matches I want to see. Let's go, boys. Get her done.
And so we move on to the next match that I completely forgot was on this card by this point of the night. I completely forgot
Well,
this.
you freaked out.
I thought we were going into the main event. No, we went into this, and I'm like, oh man, this show's gonna be so much longer. We get Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji, Los Ingobernables de Japón, taking on the team of Jack Perry and Konosuke Takeshita. Man, this was people just beating the shit out of each other, right?
Yeah. So there was also some interesting stories. There were so many stories happening in this. So many stories. And I love my stories. They don't have to be in every match. But I love them when I see them, especially if we go into one with one. But these guys not only went into the matches, like into this match, sorry, with stories, they created a few within that I had maybe not seen any build for. I was just introduced to. So of course there's the showdown going on between Shingo and Takeshita, and there's also the showdown going on between Tsuji and Perry. So they're kind of paired off as it is. But within that, we're seeing another story of how just effortlessly fluid Los Ingobernables de Japón is together as a tag team. I mean, they just went through the tag league. They better be.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're looking at we'll say, oddball team of Jack Perry and Konosuke Takeshita, where there's another story happening between these two of the reluctant teaming. And, Perry's, there's no nice way to see this. He's being a little bitch throughout the entire match, just kind of, he's not asking for tags. He's just kind of smacking Takeshita. You can see Takeshita's getting pretty frickin' frustrated with him, returning the favor. The two of them were not what I would call, at any point in time in this match, a cohesive tag team. It was very muddled, we'll say. But frickety frack frick, seeing Tsuji and Takeshita get their hands on each other again for the first time since that G1 showdown, they're twice in the G1. Those two are a fight forever for me because every time they get into the ring together, same with Shingo, can put Shingo in there instead of Tsuji. It's a different match entirely. They're doing the same freaking moves, but they change everything so much and add a little thing and take away a certain thing that it doesn't feel similar. It feels new and entertaining and fresh and fun. This was such a good match for me, especially going into the main event. Holy man.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and the ending, it was hard to come up with an ending because all 4 of these guys are featuring prominently on either Wrestle Kingdom or on Wrestle Dynasty. So it's like I was expecting some kind of screwy thing to end it, not like Perry actually pinning Yota Tsuji after his glass jaw knee. I did not actually expect that finish here.
It creates an interesting question.
You're saying
Yeah,
to
that probably has something to do in the Phallus family.
And yes, I agree with you. Another singles between those 2 would be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. Because look at the evolution. Their first match, it was freaking phenomenal. There were some hiccups that we had talked about in Puroresu review. There were some hiccups. Like going perpetually for that top rope, whatever the hell they were trying to do, and they kept falling. Just give it up, my guy. But the next match, the step up from that was insane. But then the step up is just, it's like they're going up the flight of stairs. They're only getting better. So yeah, I would love to see that kind of run back. What do you think about the ending though? What do we think about Perry pinning Suji, do we think that means that Suji's gonna regain that win in their solos competition, or do we think this is AEW saying, "Hey, just so you know,
Well, yeah,
reminder."
I think it's them saying Suzu's going to win because he's going to have the global title on Wrestle Dynasty because he's going to beat Finley the night before. So he's going to be taking the global title against Jack Perry. And I know you don't want the title being held by a person in AEW. So it will be Suji
No.
beating Jack Perry to retain his global championship that he won the night before against David Finley.
That's less than ideal, but I'll accept your timeline.
Oh, so you're cool
Yeah.
with David Finley losing the global title? Okay, sounds good.
I mean, not really, but if that's what I need to deal with, then yes, because where is David Finley? Do we
That
need to
is
start
true.
putting him on a milk carton right now and be like missing in action? He's been very quiet lately,
He's hunting
which is
rabbits.
suspicious.
He's hunting
I
rabbits.
mean, maybe he might be them wascally wabbits. But that being said, yeah, we should move on because we have a lot more to talk about still.
This might be my women's match of this year. Holy shit!
Oh my God.
There was a couple missteps with I'm sorry, the moneymaker is just
It's
doesn't.
awful.
I'm sorry, but outside of the moneymaker not quite hitting every time, this match was absolutely like the story that they built throughout, and the story they were building into this in Stardom to using this to
Mm-hmm.
Suzuki and and the desperation for Mercedes Moné throughout the entire match, not hitting
Mm-hmm.
all these big shots and not being able to capitalize and win off them. Which you get that
Mm-hmm.
Moné maker and Hazuki puts her foot on the ropes at one point, and you just see that rage, and then Hazuki pulling a Hazuki Style cradle after that, almost getting the kick out, and then you just see her face just like no, like just the emotion these two gave you this entire match was absolutely beautiful and
Mm-hmm.
but like I think it wasn't even that, it was the air of like not happiness but like I'm back that you saw in the eye of Hazuki where she's like sitting on the apron while
Mm-hmm.
One's on the floor and she's just like yeah she just rolls the rings like I'll take the count out win the title that way, like she's just but you can see there's a little bit of like mean in her at the same time. It's absolute perfection.
Mm-hmm. I have been telling you I need Hazuki for heel. It's like, yeah, absolutely. And like this, and as you mentioned, the desperation of both of these women in this match, the story that they told. Yeah, Hazuki doesn't speak English very well. She seems to understand it, but she
Mm.
can't speak it very well. But the ability that these Stardom women have to be able to translate a story to an audience, that is what you need. That's what you need. And she had the perfect crowd interaction. All Hazuki had to do was throw her hand up, and the crowd cheered. Like it motivated her. But holy heckin' crap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this proclamation, man. Hazuki brought out the absolute best in Mercedes Moné that I have not seen since she faced Kyrie.
Yeah. Like Momo Watanabe, the match was I thought great match. But
It
just
was.
this was the best match she has had this year, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And the gear looks great again.
Yeah. Well, we can't have it all because she wrestled this match and it was phenomenal and she looked great. And then she wrestled Anna Jay on AEW and it looked like she had the same seamstress Yoshihashi has. And her gear was a few sizes too large. It didn't look too good. But this, yes, 100% with the purple hair as well. Money. She looked like the CEO at this show. It was phenomenal. The sense of urgency that Hazuki made Mercedes wrestle with, the savagery that we've seen. So, okay, just so we don't go too long. I was never a fan of Sasha Banks. I didn't feel Sasha Banks had she was missing something in the ring for me. I can't really like it might have been part of her in-ring style. I liked her uniqueness there, but there was something missing. She wasn't hitting all the marks that she is now with her in-ring ability. She was emotional. She was angry. She was showing all kinds of range in like that she shows in her acting that we had not been shown while she's in ring. Hazuki brought out an absolute savage side of Mercedes that, again, as I mentioned, I haven't seen in her since Kyrie. She unlocked all these new moves and this just heavy hittingness about herself facing Hazuki. And Mercedes brought the same thing out of Hazuki. Again, as you mentioned, that smile on the ring, she was like, this is what I was supposed to be doing. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And she made Mercedes work so freaking hard for that win. You saw Hazuki's face. And she naturally has a more round face, but her face was swollen from the strikes that she was getting from Mercedes by the end of that match. Freaking incredible. This was a great main event. Holy shit, was this a great match.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Like this is, I'm between this and one other match for my women's match in New Japan, like New Japan Women's Match of the Year. I'm debating. This is very strong for me.
Yeah.
Post match, Mercedes Moné did end it with the Monet Maker,
Mm-hmm.
a half Monet Maker. Gets the win, the third one of the match, but absolutely incredible. And afterwards, she gets on the mic, starts talking to the crowd, and then she challenges anybody for Wrestle Dynasty. She wants a match at Wrestle Dynasty, which I agree because these are the non-Japanese titles, but they are doing the international show in Japan. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the right place in Japan to defend the strong title.
I agree.
And the best challenger I could ask for, Mina Shirakawa makes her way out. Yes, Bobby Petito is right. Yes, he has the right statement of everything.
Yes.
Yes. And she did say in an interview a day or two before the show that she wanted to face Mercedes for the New Japan Strong Championship. This was like 2 or 3 days before. And then, bam, we got this at the end. The dance off. Oh, my God. Mercedes doing the Mina shake with her. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. We love Mina and her interpretive dances for people's music. Oh, look at that
She
shirt
was
too,
even doing
Mercedes, or that Mina is wearing. Yeah, she was doing it really fast.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh, Mina. I love her though. And this is gonna be great. And like honestly, this is one of those situations where whatever the ending, I'm not gonna be mad about it. Because we know we're gonna get a great match with both of these ladies, because Mina has this just way of bringing out the absolute best in people. Hazuki just did it with Mercedes. We're gonna see it again. Um, but the potential for marketing for both of these girls and the way that they can carry the title going into the new year, both of them have a lot of opportunity to do so. So yeah, I'm not going to be mad. I'm excited about this. They
And
could
if
have used a
and if
better picture for Mercedes though.
and if Mina wins her title match today at Rev Pro and retains her title, the Rev Pro British Women's Undisputed Championship will also be on the line in this match.
Oh, oh no. Well,
Yeah,
then my answer changes.
Mina's still winning because
I
Rev
hope
Pro can't
so.
afford Monet. Rev Pro can't afford Monet. Are you crazy? Also
Mm,
announced, for Wrestle Dynasty is an 8-man lucha gauntlet, New Japan
mhm.
versus CMLL. I don't know how this is, but Hiromu, I hope, is part of this because Hiromu would do so well in this facing off against.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it would be obvious to have Hiromu and Titan, as well as Templario and JJ.
But
Um,
who does who does Teton and Templaria work for? Do they go in under the New Japan banner, or do they go in under the CMLL banner?
they still, I believe, when they are represented in New Japan, they are still represented by the CMLL banner. At least that's
Okay,
what I've seen.
that makes
Um,
sense. Makes sense.
yeah, because they're not regular. Like just because they're signed doesn't mean they're regular, right? They're contract workers, so it's a temporary thing. I'm curious about who the other two would be.
We need another
If
4.
it is Teton and Templario, who would the other two be? If we're
Ooh,
going straight for CMLL guys,
who's that puzzle
right? Because
guy?
there's a
Who's the puzzle guy?
puzzle guy.
It's a guy that I swear to God, maybe it's been a long while since I watched CMLL. I remember a guy looked like a puzzle. Like he had like a puzzle kind of gimmick. It might have been very long ago for all I remember. My CMLL watching is very sporadic.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a AAA thing. AAA has the
Oh,
more,
probably AAA.
like, they have that iguana guy. Remember Iguana? He
No,
literally dresses like an iguana and comes out with a stuffy, licks people.
gross.
Anyway, Hechiciero, yeah, Bobby Stats in the comments there. Hechiciero, that would be a good choice. I wouldn't be mad.
Maybe
Is he
Leo
a
Rush.
junior? Is he a junior?
No. This is a lucha gauntlet. This has nothing to do with weight limits.
Oh,
This is a lucha gauntlet. This is lucha.
I still don't know how I would feel about that. He would certainly wreck everyone's
Leo
day.
Rush maybe
He
to
could be
try
the New
try to,
Japan Albie
yeah, he could run in as a New
and
Japan.
Yo. Have
Yeah,
him and Yo in there. That could be.
I'm good without Yo. Yo's not lucha enough for me.
He literally did his excursion in
He's not lucha.
CMLL, you doof.
Yeah, but he's not luchaing it up anymore though. That's the thing.
Okay, what about Master Watto?
Watto, there you go. Watto can do it. He
Yeah.
spent time. So he just came back. And then we do have people multiple people announced for the Women's International Cup at Wrestle Dynasty. You have representing AEW is Willow Nightingale.
Yes, Queen. Yeah.
Because of no, she beat her and then Julia Hart came out. So yeah, it's not due to Julia Hart's interference because Julia Hart came out after.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Do we have an ROH person?
We have ROH, and that is going to be Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
And then CMLL is Persephone. We did talk about her before. And we do have our 4 finalists for going to see who's going to go in representing Stardom. So we had 3 matches. You had Suri winning a 4-way against Fukugi Desai, Ida, and Rana Yamagi. You had Tomoaki and Naba winning a 4-way against Kaguma Arena and Wakasukiyama. And then you had Suzuki winning a 4-way against Aya Sakura, Konami, and Hina. So your 4, because Momo Watanabe won her 4-way. So you get Momo Watanabe versus Suri versus Tomoaki Naba versus Suzu Suzuki. Winner goes on to Wrestle Dynasty.
I saw there was a post on Stardom this morning. I don't know if that already happened. The winner?
It might have. I haven't seen it because it wouldn't be out on World yet.
Well, no, but it would be out on socials.
Yeah, so who is it?
I don't know. I saw a picture of it and I didn't translate it. Let's keep talking. Let's see if I can find the information.
I'm looking it up right now.
You're ridiculous.
It's like hold music, but not as funny. Yeah, does that work? Maybe not. I don't know if that was today's show.
The pictures that I saw, where are they? Here they are. From the 20th.
It was supposed to be today.
I'm seeing a lot of pictures with people with hands raised, so I don't really know.
I'm looking it up on the official website. Give me a sec. Sorry to everybody. We just are not great at our jobs, and things are happening.
I see Shuri was victorious, but Rana Yamagi is right next to her. But that was the fatal 4-way, and I see Thekla popping Momo Watanabe. But again, I can't tell. We'll figure it out. We'll find out and announce it on next.
We're going to have a full rundown next week for you guys. We're going to be running down all the cards for all the big shows coming up. That will be the big talking about everything. So get ready for that. We do have a KOPW championship match tomorrow on the 22nd. The rules have been decided. It is a best of Taichi KOPW 2 out of 3 falls match. He won 13,246 votes to 5,126 votes. He murdered him.
Wow. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Chris.
Merry Christmas.
It's a Taichi 2 out of 3 falls match, which means stipulations he had when he was working for the KOPW title in the past. First hall will be a no rope sumo rules match. Second rope will have Yoshinobu Kanemaru as a special guest referee, and the third match will be a last man standing.
How
Yeah.
odd. How
And why
odd.
is Kanemaru
Kanemaru
of
is just
all
going to be
people?
like, what the frick?
Why Kanemaru of all people? Because he's not your friend. And
Right?
speaking of Kanemaru, he's going to Wrestle Dynasty with Sho to face the ROH Tag Champs.
Yeah.
Where'd that come
Random.
from? That was just
Right? Watching ROH last night, I saw them pop up. I'm like, duh. Why are you here? No one invited you. No one likes you. And it is
I like
true.
those
No
two
one likes-
specifically.
No one
And
likes House of Torture.
That is true. Nobody likes them as a unit. So we did
That's
get a
because
couple
they
matches,
show their little dick on screen all the time.
just like this show. So we got a couple matches announced for Battle in the Valley. Oh, sorry. Before we go to Battle in the Valley, Kushida. I apologize. I have my notes out of order. Kushida has wrapped up with TNA. If we're focusing on New Japan Pro Wrestling, and there's been a weird exodus of people from TNA over the last while, with some still to leave in this early part of next year. But Kushida is going to be he is still U.S. based on the West Coast, but he is going to be focusing more on New Japan Pro Wrestling over the next while. So we're going to see him more. So it's a very big possibility he retains his title at Wrestle Kingdom because of this. Because they get to keep him. They get to keep him. And Bobby's saying boo. I don't know if it means to Kushida, but I'm going to say this anyway. I feel like he's saying boo to Kushida. Let's go with that.
I think he was saying boo to House of Torture. I think the boo came on House of Torture.
I feel like he's booing Kushida. Just gets this.
Bobby, who you booing?
The Battle in the Valley. Yeah, Battle in the Valley. We have Tomohiro Ishii versus Gabe Kidd from the New Japan Strong Championship. Gabe Kidd calling out, cut a promo on Kenny Omega after the match, and then he called out Ishii for the title match. So I think that's going. This is, I think, going to be a Kid redeeming himself for this Roy match here in the United States.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. And then we have a 6-person tag match, Sumi Sakai retirement match. It is Team Hiromu versus Team Sumi Sakai. Sumi Sakai has not announced her partners yet, but Hiromu will be teaming up with Mayu Iwatani and Yuka Sakazaki. I think this could be a great little team.
This is gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm honestly hoping. I mean, I feel you, Chris. None of us are. I hope in this situation that Sumi gets 2 guys to kind of keep everything very balanced in this what's going to be a very fun, very fast-paced and heavy-hitting intergender match, because we know how hard Mayu hits. We know how hard Sumi hits. I don't really know too much about Yuka, but you're pretty excited about her, which tells me that's probably a good thing. So it probably tells me she hits just as fracking hard, and they're Japanese strong style. These people are just vicious. So I'm excited to see what this is, how it goes.
Well, I'm familiar with Yuka Sakazaki from her time in AEW as the Magical Girl. She's the Magical Girl. So, yeah.
Okay. Don't watch AEW. So
yeah. So we're going to jump over to Marigold here. We have new Twin Star Tag Team Champions. It is Chiyaki.
Yeah, we do.
And Nagisa Nozaki, the team I've been wanting to win these titles for so long. I wanted them to win the initial tournament. Yes. They've got them.
Yeah.
The match was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I just watched it a couple nights ago. Man, I love that match. That was so good. And this was I'm pretty sure this was the same venue that the Taiji Ishimori show was in, because it looked exactly the same. The venue looked exactly the same.
Probably. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Yeah, I love Nozaki. I love Chiaki. Chiaki was someone who was immediately on my radar
Mhm.
when I saw Marigold. It's just the viciousness that she wrestles with, but how weird but also cool is her character work. She changes dramatically based
Mhm.
on who she is facing or who she is fighting with. When she is with Nozaki, she is savage. She is mean. She has like a really cool wolf tattoo on her forearm. I call her the savage wolf when she's with Nozaki because she is savage. She is mean. She's flipping the crowd off. She's yelling at people. She's sticking her tongue out like this picture. But we've also seen her. Did you see her match with Mila Grace?
I think I
Where
have.
they came out much like Cosmic Angels and Stardom and did an entire synchronized dance where Chiaki's just smiling and hopping around and be like, yeah. As like you wouldn't know it's the same savage person who will
Yeah,
knock your head off if she's with Nozaki.
I agree. Again,
Phenomenal.
I agree. There's such a, especially watching her all this year. There's such an evolution to her this year. It was absolutely great to watch, and just to see
100%.
the changes in the most positive way. And I
Hmm.
feel like Nagisa Nozaki really influencing her in certain ways to like really bring
Hmm.
out a different side of her, and from being
Hmm.
what we even said in the original days, kind of a younger Mirai to being her own
Hmm.
person by the end of the year, really stepping out from that shadow, really establishing who she is as a, and beating Mirai in my Sakurai for these titles.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? And like if you guys want a really great tournament to kind of get a feel for who Chiaki was, definitely check out was it the Dream Star tournament? I always forget how it was called. Dream Star
Uh,
tournament.
yeah.
Just the matches that she went through in there. Oh, I always forget her name and she's so adorable. Misa?
Misa Matsui.
Yeah, that's the one. Her match with Misa. Oh, it was such a just a random tournament match, but it was so good.
Mhm.
So good. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble anymore about this.
Yeah, but we have come to the end.
Hey, yeah,
I had other
I need a
stories, but
nap.
they're all very very minor, cheeky little things that we're already at an hour and a half. It's time for this show to end. So
Yes.
I
Yes,
literally took the
I need a
graphics
nap.
off screen and jumped to that picture.
Oh man.
So we
Take
have
us
come to
into
the
the
end of.
outro.
We are into another episode. We are at the end of another episode of Japanese Wrestling Update. Uh, I am Andre C. You can find me on the X and Blue Sky at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and our YouTube page, youtube.com/@ Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, where we cover Japanese professional wrestling and the local independent Alberta wrestling scene. And hopefully next year's venture out to talk about a couple shows from another province or two. And then we also want to say thank you to our partners over at Pro Production to do simulcast all of our Japanese content in audio form. And then you can also see us right here on Our Local Establishment. Thank you all so much for joining us here. Whether you're if you're on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us. Please follow the channel and to get alerted every time we go live. And if you do want to support us, you can support us. You can use if you have Amazon Prime, you use your Prime subscription. You get a free subscription with your Amazon Prime every month. You can subscribe to us that way. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so very much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to your friends, family, and crazy little wolves. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Thank you. And then one more shout out to our boy Mike the Ref. A great job hosting the trivia show this past Thursday. I had so much fun on that show. And check out Mark Talks Wrestling this coming Christmas Day, where I will be competing in his trivia show on Christmas Day. It was pre-recorded, so don't worry. I will be on that channel live on Christmas Day at some point. I know that on here on OLE at some point talking Marvel. YouTube.com/@backbreaker video for Mike the Ref for all his great wrestling content. We simulcast our stuff. You see all his live gaming content at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref and the replays of his gaming content, youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. I need a link tree. I do have a link tree. I should probably use that more often.
We have a link tree.
Anywho, we do. You can also find me here on Mondays on the Women's Classic Wrestling, where myself, Dee Collins, and the talented natural Astra Pizarro are all talking about the Mae Young Classic from 2017. We are into round 2, which I believe is episode 6 of the second round. So I believe it's the second episode of the second round. It is going great. This is my first time seeing this tournament, so this is kind of like popping cherries. We're having fun talking about it. Astrid was there for some of the shows. It's been a riot. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. You can also catch me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. It's been busy with promotions and holidays and stuff, but we have an episode coming out very soon for you guys. So stay tuned to our socials to find out when that is coming out. What else, Andre? If you're wanting to watch any of the wrestling that we were talking about today, we will leave links in the description box below. It is stardom-world.com, wrestle-universe.com, and njpwworld.com. You need a dash. Anyway, Stardom-World and Wrestle-Universe are both 10 Canadian, shout out Jones Bills, and NJPW World is 10 American, shout out Jones Bears. It's 10 and a half Canadian.
Hey, there's 10 and a
which is
half.
10 and a half.
Literally, a 10,
Uh-huh.
10 Sean Spears and the half comparison in Melball.
Yeah, because I'm short. It's amazing.
Thank you,
prices.
Chris. We really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel, sir. We appreciate it. Logan, showing up right at the end. Thank you for showing up here, though. We really do appreciate it. And Bobby says, a 10.
10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, Wrestle Universe is your best bang for your buck, you guys. $10, you get access to 8 different Japanese shows, including Marigold, including Noah, including DDT, including Tokyo Joshi Pro. Go there, check it out. It's great. It's for the most part really great entertainment. There's some weird shit on there, though.
Oh, DDT. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but if you're wanting to check out some of the New Japan matches before taking the plunge, you can go onto their website and check out the World TV title matches that are absolutely free and include the title runs of Zack Sabre Jr., Jeff Cobb, and Matt Riddle. So go check those out, absolutely free. Then spend your money because it's going to be well worth it. You can dive back into the library, see some of their stuff from way back when. Go find Dinosaur. When you find Dinosaur, let Melball know.
I can't even find tell of who this person is. I can't find any record
I
of him
can't either,
online.
but I've seen him and I have found the show. So yeah, I have found the show. I know exactly what show it is on New Japan. So when you find it, we can have a conversation about it.
You need to tell me what show
Nope,
this is.
you are going to do your research. You are going to find it yourself.
I'm never going to watch this. If they don't tell me, I'm never going to watch it.
That being said, oh, I don't know who that is, but I know you guys don't like. Ed doesn't like her.
Yeah, Ed hates her. So does Astrid. I like her. And yes, I do hope she goes to Marigold in 2025 to get some. Not that she's bad, just she can only get better by going.
Absolutely. Oh, you send a North American wrestler over to Stardom, they come back better. Look at Anna Jay. Look at Megan Bay.
Mm-hmm.
What more do we need? Anyway, that being said, I need a nap. I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time.